interesting to see that most of the province wants Jason Kenney gone. His popularity has been underwater for months. But it really comes down to who cast the ballot and, much more importantly, who counts the ballots. Am I right?
Hmm. Yeah, that is true. We saw some controversy, I guess, as so many people flooded into the party, buying memberships to become actively engaged in the party, that the venue that was originally rented in Red Deer for the leadership review vote, according to the party, and the numbers do say this, that there were more people who wanted to cast a vote than they were able to provide space for. So then they moved to no longer in-person voting, which does shake people's confidence in the validity and the integrity of the vote. And that seems to be playing out in these survey results from Common Ground, was the survey pollster. And only 6 out of 10 of those surveyed said they believe UCP members should vote to remove Jason Kenney as a party leader. Only 21% said he should stay, with the remainder saying that they were unsure. And, when asked whether they had confidence that the leadership review would be conducted fairly, only 55.1% of those surveyed said they were either very or somewhat confident. That's not a lot when it's only half of the people that were polled. And this is people across all parties. So this is, just a random sampling of about 2,100 Albertans that were surveyed on this. And, pretty close to half of them think this isn't going to be done fairly. And that's a bad look on the UCP, no matter what the results are, because people will always question them.
Yeah, it was really weird how when Kenney won the leadership of the UCP last time against Brian Jean, he engaged in so many questionable tactics. I mean, it seemed to me that was like Mike Tyson fighting, a teenage kid in flyweight. I mean, it was just so overwhelmingly in Kenney's favor. The fact that he engaged in shenanigans seemed unnecessary and too tricksterish by half. Now, I have my doubts about the Alberta elections officials. We ourselves have tangled with them. They've tried to ban your book and our lawn sign, so they're highly partisan. That said, it's not some NDPer who's complaining, it's other conservatives. It's Brian Jean, who is back. He won his seat as an MLA in a by-election expressly on a platform of giving Jason Kenney the heave-ho. And remember, Kenney's people thought they could stop him from winning that. They couldn't. I think they're outmanned, outgunned, out-hustled, which is why they need the dirty tricks this time, which is why they need to change the rules. I understand that Jason Kenney threatened to quit as premier if they didn't go to the mail-in ballot U.S. Democrat style.
That's the first time I've heard that, but it doesn't surprise me. Given that the UCP is still under not just investigation by elections officials, but the RCMP are involved regarding the sort of dirty tricks that were alleged during the last leadership election. You think they would have taken a lot more care and control to make sure that this was beyond reproach, that there were no strange smells of anything going on, or changing the rules last minute, or changing the way by which people could vote last minute. But they did it again. And like I said, no matter what the results are, people are not going to trust them. And it's going to be conservatives who don't have trust in the leadership of the party. And unfortunately, that forces conservatives to do two things: either stay home or break away into another party. Those are the two things that conservatives love to do, especially out here in Alberta, when they think their conservative party is lying to them.
Yeah, it's so strange that Kenney fused the parties, and now he's causing quite a division in the parties. And it's the same leader he beat last time who's leading the rebellion. I think that if Jason Kenney stays on as leader, I am afraid that the New Democrats simply will win again, because obviously the left wing would never vote for Kenney. He relies on conservatives and rural folks, but they are so turned off by Kenney for policy reasons, for style reasons. Let me ask you this. There have been a number of party MLAs, including some people of some high rank, who have basically telegraphed to the public they want Kenney gone. If he wins again, there will obviously be a cloud over his over that. Will they just grumble and be quiet and fall into line? Or do you think they will do as you suggested, break away? I mean, do you think that Brian Jean will actually be a loyal soldier, obedient to Jason Kenney and all the other MLAs who have criticized him, whether it's for his pandemic policies or just his top-down style of governing? Do you think they're going to hold it together, or will they break away?
I think if Jason Kenney does lose the leadership review, I think the party will be able to stay together. I think if Jason Kenney wins, even by a slim margin, I think you're going to see a fracturing of the party even more so. And some of that, Jason Kenney is directly responsible. For example, throwing Drew Barnes out of the party. He was a loyal Wild Roser, the remaining one who did not cross the floor with Smith when she blew up the party and delivered us to the NDP. He was a loyal, beloved MLA in his community, and he was thrown out of the party because he didn't toe the party line, according to Jason Kenney and his pro-lockdown, anti-church stance.
That was an excerpt from my daily TV-style show called The Ezra Levant Show. Each weekday, I do a monologue on the news of the day, then I interview a fascinating guest. I read some fan mail or hate mail, depends on which I like more, and we end with a video of the day. You can get it all at rebelnewsplus.com.